In addition to that as well, we need to go to, there's one final step. We need to go to create distributed rights policy template file location, which sets where clients are going to be able to retrieve those new templates that we've created. So I've already created a file called public, a folder called public, and assigned permissions to allow users to be able to access this folder to download the templates that we've just created. So if we go into that folder, we will see the XML file here, which is in fact the template that we've just created. To verify that your AD RMS setup is working as it should, navigate to the following URL and it should bring up the certification web service page. And remember to ensure that the URL is specified under the local internet options. Next on the client, let's open up Microsoft Word and attempt to rights protect a document. To do that, we go to the File menu, then go to Permission, and we select Do Not Distribute as a default template. Now if you get username and password prompts when you're trying to protect a document, you need to verify a couple things. Again, you need to verify that under Tools and Internet Options that the site name is added to the local internet sites. What I've done, I've added both the hostname and the fully qualified domain named FQDN for the site. For my particular problem, what was causing the username and password prompt when trying to protect a document had to do with a setting on the IIS directory WMCS, which is created when you install AD RMS. And if you go to the authentication section, you need to verify that for that particular directory under Windows authentication that kernel mode authentication is enabled. In my situation, I had this unchecked, so you need to ensure that this is checked. And once that was done, I no longer got the username and password prompt. So returning back to our client, let's try to create a protected document. To do that, we click on File, Permission, and notice that we're not seeing the confidential template yet, but we are seeing some default templates, and we'll get to that in a while. Let's try to click on Do Not Distribute, which is a default template. What the computer is going to do now, the client is going to download the use license certificates from the AD RMS server. I'm not getting any username and password prompts anymore because of the fix that I showed you earlier for Kerberos. And now we can set our restrictions on this particular document. So I'm logged in as a user called Randy, and Randy is going to create a document here and assign read permissions to everyone and change permissions to just a few users. Or if we want, we can even go more granular than that. We can go to more options and we can set specific users here. So I'm going to go to add, and I'm going to set for the administrator and then for change I'm only going to allow, I'm not going to allow anyone to change the document. So I'm going to click on OK. So here we have two users who have permission to this document, only the user that created it and the administrator who has read access. The administrator we can change it to other permissions as you see here, but the administrator, we can select him to be able to print the document, or we can actually set a date for the document to expire. Now if I wanted, I could have just selected everyone to be able to read the document. So I'm going to select OK here, and now we see on the right hand side the permissions that have been applied. So if I click on permission, I will go back to see the settings that I have selected. So I'm going to cancel that and then save the document. I'm going to save it to the C drive. And now I'm going to log on as an administrator and attempt to change the content of the same document. So I've logged on as the administrator, but before I open the document, I want you to take a look at the contents of the DRM folder before I open the document, and you will see that as I attempt to access an IRM protected document, information rights management protected document, you will see that this folder becomes populated with licenses.